all.
Damn.
You know, he
Yeah,
looks exactly like him.
he looks
He
exactly
does
like
look
him.
exactly
It's
like
crazy.
him.
But the actor, like, he starts to discover him toward the end, but
Yes.
it gets better. But I don't know. The actor didn't do a very good job playing Iroh.
Yeah, there was definitely some moments where I was like trying to get a grasp on him, but I couldn't really do it. I
The
was
T
like,
thing
okay,
was
so
forced too.
what's going on with this guy? Yeah, they
The
didn't
T thing
really
was
have
very forced. I agree.
the T thing was forced. Barely
That was
talked
bad
about
writing, but it's still like a part of it.
Yeah,
His
I'm
tropes were kind
feeling
of forced and put too much up front. I feel like
I'm
I want
feeling
to put
low
him at high
C,
D
high
because of
D.
it.
What do you think,
He has
Aaron? Low
potential.
C, high D. I don't want to spend too much more time on him though,
I
because
think
we've
I'm gonna
just
put him
been on him for a
at
long time.
low C.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do the same, but well, I don't know. I feel this one's tough for me.
yeah. I put
Definitely,
mine low. I put mine top of D tier. That's where I'm putting
yeah.
mine.
That is a totally fair placement.
uh,
I can't decide.
I
I
might
think the
meet you.
time
I might.
spent on him is justified because everybody loves Iroh. Everyone talks about him. I feel like a lot of people want to feel the same way we feel about him.
Yeah,
I
He's
think
kinda
I might
like-
meet you at high D.
He's like the Walmart version of Iroh. That's
I'm gonna
what it
do that
is.
too.
He's the Walmart version of Iroh.
I'm gonna do that too.
He's
Yeah.
still like extremely likable, but going off of everything that we're basing
Yeah.
that we're ranking these characters on, he's not
If
Uncle
I
Iroh.
if I watched this show without having like recollection of what Iroh was like in the cartoon, I would probably rank him in B.
Yeah.
But to have such an impactful character in the cartoon be kind of reduced to this is definitely deserving of a D tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Which
know
is
what
it's
you
tough
guys
to
think in the
say.
comments.
Because
this is he's tough to rank.
Yeah, because he's definitely not unlikable in the show.
No,
Like,
he's still
I
an
still like
extremely
him.
likable character.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna be those guys right now, and we're gonna put him in D. I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. So,
Alrighty, do
Katara.
Katara next.
Yep. Katara is.
Cringe.
I'm not gonna throw her in
Katara-
cringe tier, but she
I
definitely
can't do
was
cringe.
cringe.
I can't. She
just-
didn't have a big part in the show, bro.
She was
sidelined.
forgettable.
Like, what
and
the
she
hell
was very
Totally
sidelined. I think you guys remember, like, I consecutively would say, I forget Katara's in the goddamn show. Like, I forgot about her. Like, she just doesn't.
Like,
She doesn't have a
Bro, she
presence
spent the
on
entire
stage.
show just being in the background with that scroll in her hands, being like, "Oh, I'm learning waterbending. I'm learning waterbending, but I suck." And then all
Yeah.
of a sudden, she's like god tier good.
yeah, it's like she
She
gets
beats
super good
Paku.
off screen and
Yeah.
beats Paku,
Yeah.
beats Zuko, and like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, she whoops Zuko. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy. I might throw her in
That's not
D.
some Rey Skywalker shit.
I'm throwing
Yeah.
her in like
She had
I'm
no
gonna do
character
low
development.
C because
No character
as a character, like William said, no development. A lot of off-screen shit happened, but on the screen, she did play Katara similarly to how she is in the show, in the cartoon. She wasn't
Yeah.
super dislikable to me.
Actually,
Really?
because in the cartoon, she's more well, I disagree partially because she doesn't put up with bullshit. I would say, like when
Right.
she finds out Jet's bad, she puts Jet in his place with Paku. She goes out and confronts Paku, but
Which she did both.
she's
of those things in the
submissive,
show, too.
submissive in a lot of other areas with her character, which I found kind of weird. Like, for example, her relationship with Sokka. She's very kind of submissive to Sokka,
There really wasn't
In the live
much of a
action?
relationship with Sokka, to be honest.
where, yeah, and it's almost like they didn't feel like brother and sister. Where in the cartoon, you know, they're brother and sister. Katara
They
doesn't
banter. All
put
the
up with
time.
Sokka's bullshit.
Yeah.
She calls it out
I mean,
and
there
stuff all
was
the time.
there was that one scene where she like really fucked with Sokka when they were like arguing in that cave, and she was like, "You're not dad."
You're
type
right.
Shit. Like they
Yeah.
had their
That's
fair
true.
share of that sort of thing.
That's crazy.
That
That
was-
kind
I
of it
just-
kind of circles
yeah.
back to
I just
Sokka's
think that
development
draws
as well.
back to her being like very forgettable.
I agree.
Yeah,
you know?
she's very forgettable.
I was gonna say I'm either putting her in low C or I'm putting her in D directly, like above or below Iroh. So
Like, she had no character development, which is kind of blowing me away.
no,
still.
I think I'm gonna throw her in low C because, you know, she played Katara better than Iroh played Iroh, and I think that's gonna leave room for something to happen in the second season. Though
I guess you're
I
right.
hope so.
Yeah.
though that
There-
room
she
may
got
be
the-
very
She got a real.
little.
She got a real
Here's the thing.
nice dose of Rey Skywalker syndrome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did.
Her character, she didn't have very good choreography either. Like, the stuff that was good was carried by the effects.
I'd have to agree with that one.
And I'm having a hard time because, like, season 2, Katara's like hardcore badass. Like, you could argue that she's like the most powerful on the team, besides
Right.
like Aang and Avatar State. But she's taken on like legions of soldiers at the end of the
She takes
season
on
2, like by herself.
she takes on
beats
Azula.
by herself.
Yeah.
And beats her. And I'm having a hard time imagining this Katara doing that. I know there's time for her to develop season 2,
She's
but
here's what Eddie
it's
says.
really hard seeing her do this.
Eddie says she's cooking. Wait till next season. Yeah, let's let her cook in the shadows.
Guys, I
she'll
want
do
to.
something.
I might be crazy, but I want to put her in the middle of D tier.
I
No,
don't think I can do that.
I disagree
I'm
with
not
that
feeling her
one.
character at all. I can't. I'm not
because-
feeling her character.
I'm throwing her in low C.
Guys, this just to interject, this is the part of the show where shit's gonna go down. Like, it's going down right now.
You mean
Like, your favorite character is gonna be on the bottom of the list. That's what I'm saying.
oh.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Should I put her in mid D?
I'm talking to the audience, not you guys.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was like, what are you talking about?
He's foreshadowing for our boy.
Yeah.
Ong.
Okay,
Okay, we gotta get
hold
this
on.
Katara
Yeah.
I need to
figured
finish
out,
where
'cause I want
Katara
to talk
goes.
about Ong.
I'm throwing
Because-
Katara in low C just because I believe that there may be some
I'm gonna put her. You know what?
hidden potential.
I'm putting her at the. Yeah, I think her acting was okay. I think that her writing was subpar.
Thanks, Eddie, my hero.
I just think that she played Katara a little bit better than Iroh played Iroh.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. That's
So
what I'm
gonna
saying.
put
as
her
well.
at the bottom of C tier then.
That's exactly
Okay,
what
I'm
my
gonna do the
reasoning
same.
was. So
I
Eddie
think that she's one episode away
From
being
D tier.
in D tier.
yeah,
But I think she's 3 episodes away from being in B tier.
in B tier. I agree. Here's
Like,
what Eddie
I think
says.
she can rise up, but like she's bordering on D tier right
Yeah, she was like
now. It's fucking
she was
close.
teetering on that edge of C, B, and D throughout the whole show, and then those last kind of 2 episodes just kind of pushed her down further and further to the bottom of
She
C.
just didn't have like. It's
She's
just like her
such a
development happened off
strong-
screen.
Like,
It's really
She's
weird.
such a strong-willed character in the cartoon, and to see her reduced to this is just kind of like
it
I'm
was
actually throwing her in D tier.
we're just doing the Rey Skywalker thing.
She's
I'm
D tier
doing
for
D
me.
tier too. Yeah,
The more I think about it,
because
the less I like her.
because what they do with these titles these days, Star Wars, Last Airbender, all these big name titles, they just skip development and they just give her the Rey Skywalker. Call it good. She's
Yeah.
powerful,
Mary
she's
Sue
strong.
vibe.
Like
the Rey Skywalker
what
treatment's
the-
got to be my least favorite treatment, like in all of
it honestly
cinema,
ruined
in
a
all
lot
of
things,
cartoon, comic media,
There's
any
no
media.
reason for
Fucking
like
bullshit.
like you said, there's no development and there's no
Yeah.
reason
Right.
for her to be as good as she is, unless if it happened off screen.
Yeah.
Which they should show you that. You just can just like, oh, you just gotta accept that she's better than everybody now. After
Yeah,
one
I might
episode.
throw her in top. I'm throwing her atop of D tier as well. Eddie says,
Alright, guys.
I like this tier
Yeah.
list thing. Hope you do more for shows and movies. Yeah, dude.
Oh,
We definitely
Eddie,
will be.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm having so much fun.
I'm
I
having
can't
such
wait
a
for
blast.
these.
My screen
can't
crashed
wait for
twice,
more.
but it's okay. I'm back.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
So here's the defining moment. Our boy Ung.
Right.
I think
I
I'm gonna
don't-
come out and speak for all of us when I say we weren't really the biggest fans. bro.
Garbage.
Nah.
It makes me really sad.
Yeah.
Like, this
He
is the
started
character
out
that I
good,
wanted
I would
to
say.
see the most. I also agree he started out well, but
I don't know if he did.
that he had a slow decline where I was kind of like, wait, are they gonna do
So
anything with this character, or are they just gonna continue to make him mope and around and cry?
Let
about
me-
It's way too
being
serious.
unlikable.
let me throw out there my
the Aang in the
favorite.
cartoon. The Aang in the cartoon is so likable, so carefree. He's a kid.
Guys,
He's happy. He understands his responsibilities.
He's very
But
wise
let me-
for being a
he
kid
doesn't.
too.
He's very wise, and he doesn't let his responsibilities weigh him down. And make
Whereas
him a
in-
mopey, crying,
in the live
baby
action,
who just whines, whines in every episode about his responsibility and how he's not good enough. And
yeah, every
That's not
single
him.
episode he was saying, I'm the Avatar. I let all these people down. Like that was his number one line.
You
I
said
let
it
all these people
mimic
down.
you had
Perfectly.
the
Like-
accent. So
Yeah. I let all these people down. Like shut
He doesn't even
up.
sound like Aang.
Fuck! I remember this moment, this pivotal moment. In the very last episode, spoilers, by the way, but in the very last episode when everything is okay, they won that battle, he saved the day with the ocean spirit, he's standing there looking over the water kingdom, and he's like, I let them down. This was my fault.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, shut
was so
up!
cringe.
You just did everything you could. You sacrificed yourself for the ocean spirit. That's more than enough for the Avatar to do. And you say,
After
I let these people down. Like, shut
after
up!
8 episodes of him
Saying, I let these people down. Yes!
He's just gonna say it again.
I know!
This is where they
I
got
will
really
say-
ruined his
frustrating.
character, too.
I will
When
say
he,
just
oh, go ahead, yeah.
1 second. I
Yeah.
want to say that the kid himself is not a bad actor. When
No,
he had
no,
his
no.
happy scenes, I could see
I
him
saw
being
Aang.
a good Aang.
Yeah.
But
I actually think the kid was a great actor.
I
think
agree.
Yeah.
It was I think it was the script because the people that directed the show purposely did this. They said they wanted Aang to be more serious and more
I
goal
don't like
driven,
it. Yeah.
Nah,
and
that's
that was
not
one
right.
of the dumbest decisions in this show.
That's a show change right there. That changed the whole course of the
Yeah.
fucking show.
And I
Changing
think it
someone
forced
like...
the actor to act away. I think this actor would have done a much better job playing the Aang from the TV show, and they kind
Yeah.
of put him,
Yeah.
I think, in an
So-
uncomfortable position, having to play a more serious
Like-
12-year-old.
He,
Agreed.
as a good actor, he did a great job playing a mopey Aang. It's just an Aang that I fucking didn't want to see. Like, it was just
Aang is not
uncomfortable.
mopey.
It was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It was a new character.
Have you
like-
guys seen like interviews with?
Yeah,
this
he's
actor?
so
He's
energetic.
super happy,
He acts
excited.
exactly like Aang. Like
He
Yeah.
seems like he's the perfect Aang. Yeah.
That's why I say and agree with you, William, when I say he's an incredible actor, and he played an incredible mopey kid. That's just not Aang. He played
Yeah.
Ung. He played Ung. We now have 3
Ung,
versions of this
yeah.
character. We have Aang, Ong,
Yeah,
and Ung. And
yeah.
this is I just didn't like it. Like every time I saw him in the show, he was either saying some monologue about how he doesn't want to be the Avatar. He was attempting a one-liner that just didn't work, or he was being mopey, and it just wasn't a monologue. He was just saying, "I let these people down," and that's it.
I let these people down.
He said that
Aang-
so much.
So this is something that really I hate with the writing too. When he came out, like this is when they totally like destroyed his character for me. Is
uh-huh.
when he got done talking to Kirak, Avatar, the water guy.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Turk.
know what you're going. I know
Remember
what you're
when
going.
Katara
Yeah.
is complaining about like, oh, they won't let me fight, and
Yeah, this shit was
for
bullshit.
no reason. There was no reason for this. It's out of nowhere, completely random and totally out of character. He's like, you know what? You should listen
Well,
to
maybe
him.
you should.
When
Yeah.
Maybe
when
we
she
should listen
said
to
that she can't waterbend. So people haven't seen the show. Basically, Katara is in the point where she's not allowed to waterbend. This is before she confronts Paku and fights him to gain the right to waterbend. Aang tells her to listen to Paku and her healer teacher to just do what they say in a very rude
Like
way.
what?
It's totally out of character. I think that was even out of character for the live action. That was really weird.
Am I gonna be
Um,
crazy by putting him in cringe?
No, he's cringe.
Yeah.
I'm putting it at the top of cringe.
He's far worse than Avatar. I mean, Avatar, Katara.
Yeah,
He is
far worse
He
than Katara.
is.
Like, guys,
just-
I want to preface this one more time. This kid could play a fantastic Aang.
The
from
kid
show.
is an
He-
incredible
I've-
actor.
We've
Oh
all
my
seen
God, yeah.
interviews of him in the few moments in the show where he is happy and smiling and ecstatic.
Like on,
He
I
is
like
super
that.
believable and fun.
I liked
but
the kid on Kyoshi
that's-
Island.
That's simply not the character that
we were
they
given.
wrote into this show.
Yeah.
Which honestly sucks because it changes the entire show, obviously.
It came to a moment. It came to the point where I was like, every time Aang was on screen, it was kind of the opposite of when Sokka was on screen. I just couldn't wait for him to get off. I couldn't wait.
I totally
so
agree.
boring.
It was fucking horrible.
And
Yeah.
it's not the actor's fault either. It's like it's
No.
just purely the directors and the writers' fault.
We can't stress enough how good of an
were on
actor the
crack
kid
or
was
something
and how well of a
writing
job
it.
he did.
I don't know. ChatGPT wrote him. That's what I think.
I don't know whose bright idea it was to change the main character and make him a sad, mopey little young boy.
When
Well, did you
has
hear what they said?
happy-
They were like, we want to make it the more mature and make it like Game of Thrones. But here's the thing:
What the fuck?
the cartoon is far more mature than this show.
Yeah, I
Plus,
agree.
Avatar: The Last Airbender wouldn't be Avatar: The Last Airbender without the happy like spirit of Aang that shows you like no matter what the odds are, you can retain this level of like, optimism.
Yeah,
He's
we
an
don't
optimistic kid at the end of the day.
we don't need Katara around every bend to say, "No, Aang, don't think that." Like, it's great to an extent in the show, of course, because
way overdone.
it's and critical to their development as in their relationship, but it's just we don't need that around every bend. Like, it felt like every moment Aang and Katara were on screen, it was her just doing that to him, consoling him. And that was it. Anyways,
yeah, it was
Sadly,
I'm ready to move on.
Aang is top of cringe.
Yeah.
top of cringe. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments
Yeah,
below.
Let us know.
I think
Eddie says
we've definitely shaken some things up here. In the
Yeah,
last,
I agree. Eddie's
in the main character section. We've got some in cringe. We've got some in S. We've got like
nah,
really,
we got one in
that's where
Sokka tier.
the big opinions really come in. That's what I was saying.
I think
earlier.
everyone will
It's like-
agree with our decision on Sokka and Ozai though. Like,
Yeah, I agree. Here, Eddie says
I
seems
think
like
Zuko too.
Eddie says seems like a Hayden Christensen situation. Anakin and Hayden, yeah, where people
Yeah,
people
it's honestly worse though too.
it's way
yeah,
worse.
it's worse than Hayden Christensen's situation, to be honest.
Because looking
I
back,
actually kinda
Hayden
like
Christensen, yeah, I adore his acting in that. And looking back, like I think that's such
I'm talking.
on.
I'm talking about. I don't know if Eddie's referring to the new Disney Star Wars Hayden Christensen or the other, but yeah, I fucking love Hayden Christensen.
Me
Everything
too.
he's done. He turns
Hayden
into gold.
Christensen's an incredible person, incredible actor, but he got such unregulated hate, and I really hope that doesn't happen with this character or this actor, this child actor.
You know what this is? It's not really, but it's like Finn from Star Wars. Good actor,
Oh,
good likable guy, like
Yeah.
potential through the roof.
but horrific.
Very poorly written
writing.
character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy.
Here's what angers me about this more too is like Aang's character's already been written for them,
Yeah.
and for
Yeah.
some reason they decided to make it worse. They didn't need to do that. It was already perfect.
Yeah. Also, he's the integral character in one of the most popular cartoons of all time. So why would you really feel the need to make such a drastic change?
Yeah,
It's not like the change that they did with Sokka.
I was just
Like, a
gonna
change
say
for
that.
the better for his character.
Just gonna say that.
To do something different. It's changing
It's
the
changed Aang
trajectory
for
of
the
the show.
worst.
Yeah, they
Also, too,
he's probably
let's talk about the fact that Aang never waterbended
oh
Oh, God.
dear
this entire
God,
season.
Don't even
no,
remind me
like,
about
I don't.
that.
I can't even.
Like that's
I
not
think-
the
I don't know how we
episode,
forgot
not really the
about that.
character, but it's goofy. It's
I
dumb.
think Aang.
It is.
He's probably my biggest complaint with the show so far. I think if Aang's character was more true to Aang in the cartoon,
It'd be a lot better show.
then the show would be like a 7 out of 10 or 7.5 out of 10. Like even closer to an
Yeah, it
8.
would have been a lot better.
Even closer to an 8 because it doesn't matter so much as long as he is there because he's like the biggest part of the cartoon. You
I
know?
gotta say, when you have the avatar in cringe, you know something's fucking wrong.
That's yeah.
Here, Matthew actually wrote this perfectly. He said, "Aang is in the show. Aang is a kid that wants to run from his responsibility, in the live action one, they decided to write him as being strictly about his responsibility.
Yeah, that's true.
Completely made him the
Strictly
opposite.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
And not only is that is like he's very like negative about it too.
Yeah, it's
It's not like he's like, I have this responsibility to do this, like I need to take it seriously. He's just like, I don't know how I can do this, like I don't know if I'm capable of this, like, you know, I'm gonna do this all wrong. He's just saying that the whole show.
It's so exhausting.
Eddie,
Again, guys, don't hate on the actor. We think the actor's
of course
actually
not.
great.
I think the actor's
But
incredible.
just to
This
clear
was
it
like
up.
in the writing.
Eddie's referring to the old Star Wars. I got you, Eddie.
Yeah. I thought so.
I figured.
With the way people were hating on Hayden for no point, for no reason.
Agreed.
But,
So yeah, here's our list.
I think there's huge potential with a season 2.
Yeah, this might be one of the situations where season 1's the worst. A lot of times with the situation, season 1 is the worst with live action, and then it gets better with 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope with season 2 they pick something to focus on. They don't try to stuff every little thing into this.
Agreed.
They need to focus on the core goal.
I think
the main
that
thing that drives the story. So season 2 is going to be Zuko and Iroh's development, and then Aang learning earthbending. That's like what it should be.
Yeah, Zuko, Iroh, Aang learning earthbending, and then they meet together at Ba Sing Se, and that's it.
And waterbending, because they
apparently waterbending as well.
Apparently, seeing Azula was more important than Aang learning waterbending.
Fuck no.
Yeah,
those
are stupid.
Those 3 things
they
should. Go ahead.
They could have taken all the Azula scenes and that whole plot line out, and instead just put that in with Aang learning waterbending from Katara and at the Northern Water Tribe, and that would have
the show would go up like a half a point, like immediately.
Yeah.
You know what's really sad about this is they have the most perfect cast. Somehow they found people like they all look like the people in the cartoon, which is super impressive. They all have some. A lot of them, I think, are actually like some form of like martial artists as well.
Right.
Like they have the most perfect cast almost, and they've really ruined. They really dropped like they ruined it with step 1, which is Ratchet writing the script. Everything, the CGI, the scenes were all beautiful.
Right.
Maybe a little too perfect sometimes, but with the clothing,
CGI was
plain. But
CGI might have been a little over the top as well.
But
CGI was good until it wasn't. There were some scenes where it was like, okay, I
almost feel like they didn't like. It was a $120 million budget, so about $15 million per episode, and I feel like none of that budget went into the writing. Like I'm having a hard time seeing where that money went. Obviously, it went into a lot of it with CGI, but like almost none of it went into the writing. I feel like it's like I told when we were watching this, I was like saying I felt like ChatGPT wrote the script. Like it's that bad.
We were also saying that our theory is that the budget went into all the washing machines to keep all their clothes clean, because they're all spotless throughout the entire show.
Way too clean too. The clothing was perfect, but it needed to be dirty. Everything was way too clean.
Yeah, it definitely took me out. I don't know about you guys, but for the first few episodes, I was like, this is taking me out of it. Like, why the fuck do they just look like they got
hair's perfect, clothes perfectly clean,
just deep cleaned all their garments of clothing? Like,
yeah, like someone would fall over and get dirty, then the next scene they'd be clean. It was very.
Well, they just had like 3 million just different versions of the same outfit. Like that's where the budget went to the seamstress building all these fucking outfits for them.
It's really I feel like a lot of budget too went into maybe paying the directors and like the actors and stuff.
Yeah,
probably.
Because I feel like not much of the budget actually went into the creation of the show, which is really, really disappointing.
I think there's huge potential with season 2, and I agree, William. I think the number one focus should be simultaneously Zuko and Iroh, and then Aang learning earthbending, and then they meet in the middle at Ba Sing Se. And I think that's
how you do it.
I think that's really all they should do.
Season 3 is gonna have to be really good for this show to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of potential though, I'd say, at the end of the day.
I'd say they haven't totally fucked it up.
No, and I think they need to
There's a
learn.
chance.
I think they need to learn a lot from what the fans are saying, primarily about Aang.
They need to change Aang fucking fast.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be done.
they need to change Aang fast, or the show will
Yeah.
continuously get worse and worse, no matter how good the story writing is. Just because Aang is the story. Do you know what I mean?
Guys, if Aang was very similar to Aang from the cartoon, I
Oh,
would've enjoyed
so
it
much
a
better.
lot
that's what I said.
a
Yeah,
lot more.
that's exactly what I said. I said it would have probably gone up to an 8 out of 10. Like,
Yeah.
Here's the thing: the directors did this. They literally like pride
Prioritized?
themselves on making this change.
oh wow, yeah.
Like they were like,
Yeah.
yeah, the cartoon's just made for kids, you know. So I wanted to make it more mature for like a Game of Thrones audience.
That is so
And
goofy.
it was a very irritating thing to hear because after watching this show, the cartoon is simultaneously more fun and more mature
Yeah,
than
watching
this
that
live action.
when
by
watching
far.
season 2, you and I watching season 2 recently. This is not just a kids show, bruh. Like, I'm gonna be watching this shit when I'm in my mid 60s and 70s. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is not just a kids show whatsoever.
The directors, I don't know what they were saying. A little biased, I think. A little too. Because there's that attitude out there, you know, with people that's like, oh, well, it's a cartoon, so it's made for kids. I feel
Yeah.
like that has something to play with it.
Oh yeah. Oh sure.
This idea that like live action is like the peak and something isn't as good just because it's a cartoon,
Right.
which unfortunately is a little more common of a mentality than I would like to see.
Mm-hmm. Honestly,
They all meet-
I think in general the animes don't really lend themselves to become live action adaptations.
Yeah. Time and time again, we've been shown that.
For the most part, it's like, why do I need to see this live action? Like, it's kind of gonna take away from the mysticism and the fantasy of an anime.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what sucks
like a
about it is the
cartoon.
potential is always there because, like, this is a great story, but the directors always want to like change it and make it their own, and they always do it in a terrible way.
I
Right.
think
They take out what
that-
made it good.
to add.
Also, there's the line that you have to walk to between trying to make it not corny and tacky, having it be, a cartoon with, fire bending and water bending and all these crazy different outfits and like shit. Like, you don't want to make
Yeah.
it corny. It's easy to make it look tacky and corny,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like just with anime in general, you have characters with like pink hair and
And that's some of the things they should
Okay.
change in live action that the directors should be comfortable changing is
right.
making it feel like real life. And that's like the
Yes.
issue. It's like they focus too much on changing the story and then
Mhm.
keeping all the other stuff the same as the cartoon when it should be backwards.
Right.
I feel
Should
like
be different.
they should
should be
focus on the
flipped
core
back.
story because that's what's good. You don't need to make anything special. This is not your show. This is, what
The
someone else
original
wrote. Your
creators.
job is to
Yeah.
reimagine this in live action so people can re-experience it. And because that's
Right.
cool. I wanted to re-experience this in live action, but
Mhm.
they always want to like ruin it for some reason and add their own tropes to the storytelling, like the core of the storytelling. If they did the side stuff, it'd be okay, but they like would modify the core of the storytelling
Right.
and it just ruins everything.
Mhm.
Sorry, this went into a little more of a review of the of the show and not the actors.
Oh,
Well,
Eddie
either way-
brought up something that I was gonna mention with the One Piece live
Mm-hmm.
action. Going back to transitioning cartoons and animes into live action, like it's the good as good as it's gonna get is the One Piece live action, and then below that is this.
I heard that was good,
Yeah,
pretty good for what they did.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's good for what you can do with the live action and a show of that depth. Same here. And what they could have done to just make it even better is make it maybe 10 or 12 episodes instead of 8. Like, you're just trying to cram so much into so little with so little time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they added
Which you
extra
see
scenes
all-
with Azula.
You
Oh
see
my
it
God,
all the
yeah.
time too. Like, these days, there's so many adaptations. That,
I mean,
okay, we got 8 episodes.
It's almost like they
Or
didn't care
just-
about the pacing at all.
even
I-
They just
one
wanted to
extra
shove in as much as they
episode,
wanted to.
even one extra episode would have been completely fine with me.
You know,
Well,
the ending,
yeah.
the ending of the show was like the most anticlimactic thing I've ever experienced.
The best thing about the ending of the show was the way it looked. It was a very
It was
beautiful.
so subpar.
It was
Like,
yeah. The best
the
part
music was
back
worse.
to-
Aang's voice was worse in the Avatar state. I was like so
Holy shit.
bored.
the best part about the ending was the way the ocean spirit looked. That thing looked badass, and I liked.
It looked like Godzilla. That's what it looked like.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I liked the coloring. and
Anyways,
the dark
back
blue
to-
with the light blue. It's cool,
Mhm.
but I liked Zuko
Back
versus
to
Zhao too.
Adaptations and stuff like that is like you see it so often these days.
Oh my
It's
god, the
like,
Death Note adaptation. Does anybody remember that?
And they're never good.
no, I'm
Like,
I'm
the
kind of
potential's
referring to
always
like
there.
like with all these like Disney Plus shows, for example, all the adaptations of these cartoons and books and stuff.
Yeah.
They always cut themselves short. They like with the Obi-Wan show, 8 episodes. There's simply not enough time in 8 episodes to tell a story that you want to that is worth telling. You
Yeah, it's
know?
like it might as well just be a movie.
It might as well just be a movie.
Percy Jackson had 8 episodes as well.
Eddie, I think a Naruto live action is already confirmed.
It is,
I think that is actually happening.
You're
So,
right.
That's
Oh,
actually
God.
fucking crazy.
They've
Yeah,
already
that's
cranked
gonna
it
be
so much.
That's gonna be crazy. What
So
the
much
fuck?
filler in that show.
Oh, they're gonna cut all the filler
I'm
out
gonna be
for sure.
blown away if they make that work.
Me too. Man, we'll do a watch party for that. But
Yeah.
here, so yeah, guys, we had a lot of fun making this. I want to do like Star Wars movies rankings, character rankings from Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, movie rankings. Like seriously, drop your comments. What do you guys want to see? I think we all had a lot of fun doing this. I myself love making tier lists, love making lists. So we could all talk about this stuff for ages. And I think this
And
is
of
gonna be
course,
something
let us
that
know what
we
you think in the
like.
comments below. Do you agree, disagree? Where would you rank the characters,
Yeah.
If you made it this far, thank you. This ended up being a much longer video than we actually expected, probably.
Man, we talked about Avatar: The Last Airbender for 2 hours.
It was like, oh, it's going to be a 30-minute video before we
Yeah.
started this. It ended up being 2
Now,
hours
now,
long.
now we know we can fill up a 2-hour long stream with any one of these tier lists.
Yeah.
Eddie, I'd have to agree, but I don't. Percy Jackson was just kind of underwhelming, considering how good the book was.
That's a story for
Yeah.
another stream.
Eddie says, I thought Percy Jackson was good. Obi-Wan had too much focus on Leia and Reva. That is 100% true. Okay. I can't even get into it. I can't get into it.
We got to save that for another episode.
Fuck. But
Yeah.
I do agree Percy Jackson was good, just underwhelming.
So honestly, guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys good to call it here?
Yeah, I am.
All right, sweet. Yeah. Thank you guys. Like William said, leave a comment,
Please.
like, subscribe. Tell us what you think of our
Give us
ranking. Where would you
kisses.
put these characters?
I'm very curious to
some
see
com-
what people would put these characters.
We've got some controversial opinions. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Anything else you guys want to say?
No, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like us,
Yeah.
you know what to do, how to follow and everything. See you
Yes,
guys
sir.
in the next one.
Goodbye, everyone.